Hello there guys, so today we are changing the front suspension cones on Zippy here because, well, it might not look it, but it's pretty low and it's pretty much just like literally that far off the bump stops. So whenever you go over any sort of a bump, it's just incredibly uncomfortable. Now, I did change these just after I got the car, but I couldn't afford brand new ones, so I fitted the ones off the rear of a friend's car because the rear ones don't usually wear like squashed down as much because there's not much weight at the back. But after a year of being in the front of this, obviously the auto engine's heavier as well, they're a bit knackered. So yeah, it's now getting Huey's old front ones. Now, they were not very old, so they're actually in pretty good condition. As you can see, they're not squashed. We will do a comparison of the old ones and the new ones when they come out. One of these is slightly lower than the other, so we'll put the higher one on the driver's side, obviously, because that's where the extra weight will usually be when it's just me in the car. So you can just about see that one of them is slightly higher than the other one. Literally like a fraction. There we go. So yeah, I've literally just ripped them out of that subframe now. So we'll just go and put that back over there where I got it from. Also, I knocked Huey's head over off the engine and bent a push rod. So yep, need a new set of, which one was it? New set of push rods now. That was this one here, look. Yeah. So, yeah, I should have just removed them ages ago, shouldn't I? Oops. Oh well. My stupid fault. Anyway, go put this subframe away, get it out the way, and then we'll crack on with this. And I've borrowed my friend's cone compressor there as well to do this job with. So, yeah, get back to you in a second. Right then guys, so we've got the car up on axle stands. I haven't moved the jack out, but it's down on the stands. So yeah, now it is time to start removing the old cones. So what we're going to need to do is obviously get the wheel off, which I've done, and then you need to undo that nut there. There you go, that nut just on there, and the one at the top to take the shock off. Oh, look at all the filth under here. It's all from driving down the lane to this unit. Anyway, yeah, get the shock off, and then the next thing you want to do is pop the top ball joint, because the top arm has to actually come out. So we'll do that, and then what you have to do is undo the big ball up here, the big tower ball, which there's a lot of wires in the way, which is great, and basically then use the cone compressor there, which I'll show you how to do shortly. So yeah, the first thing we'll do anyway is get the shock off and get the ball joint split. Now, that's as low as my tripod goes, so you can't really see in here very well, but I'll try my best to show you. But yeah, I've already said, pop off the ball joint, shock off. So let's do that now. Okay then guys, so we've got the top ball joint here popped now and the shock removed. I've also removed one of the nuts from the top arm thing, one of the little bolts. They're a pain, I'll show you those in just a second. I've also removed, just off camera, the subframe tower bolt as well. So that big bolt came from just down in there, and that's where we put the cone compressor tool. So I'll demonstrate how we use that in just a minute. And the other things, so right down here, try and get the camera in a bit closer for you. So right down in there, washing it out, you can just about see the plate there at the end with the big nut on it, and then at one side there's now a tiny little hole where there was a nut and bolt, and at the other side there is still another bolt just there. So we need to remove the other bolt. I've already done the one small one, I need to do the other small one. And then what we can do is get the cone compressor tool in here. So I'll remove that bolt now. I'm not going to do it on camera because it's just horrible to get to, as you can probably see. And then I'll show you how we use this cone compression tool. Okay then guys, so the cone compressor tool, oops, falling over everything. So this cone compressor tool, what we do is, firstly I'll just undo everything. So basically you get the end here that is got the short thread on it, and you thread that in down to this hole into the actual cone itself. There's like a threaded bit in the middle of it. So you put that in and you thread that into the cone, and this bit here, this tube, goes on there, and then there's a big nut on the top like that. So you can sort of slide it all on one by one, but you actually have to take the bonnet off that way. So if you put it on this way like that, just with this nut right at the top, you can just slide it down and then tighten up. You'll need, depending on your tool, you'll need like a different spanner or an Allen key or something in this top piece here. Now this one requires an Allen key, so it's an 8mm. So we just pop that in there and tighten that up into the cone as far as it will go. Don't need to go excessively tight though, because it will make it very difficult to remove later. So just keep tightening this up. Let's see how far this will go up. That actually goes quite a long way. Okay, so that's just nipped up now. No need to do it excessively tight, and now all we have to do is I'm going to have to take that off because I forgot to put the washers on. I'm a bit of a fool. Where are they? There we go. Put these 2 washers on here, and then tighten this up again, and then get an appropriate size spanner. The closest one I have is 26mm. It's not actually the correct size, but it does work. So just tighten this up now. And then what this does is that squashes the suspension cone so that you can then take the pressure off the top arm, take the top arm out, and then take the trumpet and the cone out. So it's nice and simple what it does. So yeah, I'll just finish winding that up off camera, and then I'll show you what we actually have to do now. Right, so now we've got that tightened up to a reasonable level, and there is now play in the top arm. That knuckle cup's just full of water because the boot's come off. So yeah, that's now loose enough. What we're going to do now is actually remove that screw just there, which will then let us take out this little droop sort of stop thing. It stops the suspension dropping too low and then everything falling apart. So we're going to just take that screw out and take out this little rubber bit, and then let's have a look, see if you can see just up here there is a nut, which again, don't shout at me, I don't know the imperial size, but a 19mm spanner fits absolutely perfectly onto that. So you then have to undo that nut. So yeah, again, I'll do this off camera because it's just really hard to get in here and show you. So we undo this screw, take out that droop stop, as I like to call it, and then take off that nut up there. And then we're ready to take out the top arm, and probably take out this trumpet first as well. So yeah, let's do that now. Okay, so we've got this nut over here undone, and the other bolt in the engine bay. So then what happens is the pin slides out of the arm. As you can see, it's on its way out now. So all I'm going to have to do is just go to the engine bay side and sort of wiggle that around all the pipes and everything out of the way, and we can sort of rotate this arm a bit out the way and everything now. Now it's coming loose, and then what will happen is the trumpet and top arm will all be able to drop out, and then we will undo the cone compressor and the cone will drop out, and then it's kind of just reverse to put it all back together, really. So it's not too difficult of a job, but this all came undone quite easily because I did do all this about 10 months ago, as I said. So yeah, it's yeah, being kind to me for once. So yeah, we'll just get this top arm out now, and then I'll be back. Okay, now, so what you want to do, once you have got the top arm removed, as you can see, the pin's just sort of dangling around in there, but the arm itself is down here and the trumpet is there. I've cleaned all this up now. I'll need to clean the grease out of that cup and put some fresh grease in there. That was all just full of gritty, muddy, sloppy water. It was horrible. Clean all the rest of that up before I put it back in anyway. So yeah, that's all out. So now what you need to do is remove the cone. So you have to put your Allen key in the top bit, or the spanner, whatever you used, to hold the inner piece in place, and then use the big spanner to undo the nut there on the top. Now, what happens if you just undo the nut here without holding the middle bit is sometimes the middle bit can come undone. It can undo the middle bit rather than that. And if that happens, then what will happen is the cone compressor will come flying out and hit you in the face or dent your bonnet or both. So you need to hold that middle bit and then undo the outer piece to take the tension off it, and then undo the middle bit from the cone itself. So yeah, we'll do that now, and again, probably not going to record it, I've just explained how you do it anyway, so we'll do that, and then the cone will literally just drop to the bottom of the subframe. We can take it out nice and easy. So let's do that next. Right, okay, so the cone is now sort of here, just dangling around, so we can just sort of twist that up sideways, and out it comes. Of course, it's going to be a bit of a pain. Won't come out without a bit of a fight. Come on! We'll get there in the end. There we go. Oh, not quite. Nearly. Here we go. Right. So there it is. There's the old one. Now, that isn't as squashed as I've seen. I've seen them a lot worse than that. But it's not been on the car that long. Even though it was a used one, it wasn't that squashed. But, yeah, under load, it was still absolutely no good. Even if we pop it next to these, though, there's still a massive difference. You can see. So yeah, there we go. They are basically just scrap now, so we'll just chuck them away, and we'll put our nice new ones in. Well, not new, but yeah, they will do the job just nicely. So, which one was the higher one? Let's have a look. Actually, these have levelled out now, because one of the high-lows was wound out and the other one wasn't. So there was also just a stress on them, so these are actually the same. So, we'll go and get this, and then put it up here into the seat in the subframe, and it's literally just kind of the reverse to refit it. So we just pop this up, screw it up into the cone compressor, compress it, pop the top arm back on, put the pin back through, tighten the nut up, put the droop stop back in. We need to grease the top arm as well, don't forget to do that. Once you've cleaned all the grease out of it, you need to put fresh grease in there with a grease gun. Reattach the bottom, reattach the ball joint, the shock absorber, put the nut and bolts back in that plate, and then put the tower bolt back in. So yeah, I mean, I don't think I really need to show you putting it back together, because it's exactly just how you took it apart in reverse. So yeah, there we go. Hopefully this was helpful to you guys, and if you really want to see me doing it again, then next time I do them on a friend's car or whatever, I will try and do it in more detail. But it's just really hard to film this when I've only got myself, and there's no one here to help me sort of film it or anything. So yeah, there we go. Hopefully this was of some use to you anyway, and yeah, thanks for watching, guys, and I'll catch you in the next video, which will be actually the run in Lincoln. So I don't know if I'll be talking or anything, it'll just be time lapse of the run. But anyway, see you in the next video. Bye for now.